Hey guys, it's John. I want to talk to you a little bit about lighting and which lighting to choose for your aquarium. There's a lot of different kinds of lighting, anywhere from spotlights to gooseneck spotlight lamps to bar lights right over here and goosenecks with bar lights on top. So there's a lot of different ways and mediums the lights come in that you can use to apply to your aquarium. Now there's certain scenarios and tank layouts that will determine in which best light to use for your aquarium. When it comes to gooseneck lamp, the really nice thing about this guy is that you can alter the height, which allows for a different intensity of light entering your aquarium. If you end up getting algae problems, a really simple solution is just to elevate the light higher to reduce the intensity of light and overall algae. A lot of the lights in our industry come with little clamps that you just slide right over and tighten with the nuts. So one of the most important points to consider when choosing a light is knowing that light always diffuses at a 120-degree angle from the point. So when you look at your tank, you want to make sure that your tank gets a nice even distribution of light throughout all the layout, especially where you have plants. For those of you that don't appreciate the aesthetic of a gooseneck lamp, there's also bar lights in the hobby that work just as well. When it comes to spotlights, know that the most intense focus of light is directly at the point under the actual bulb. So use that into consideration when picking your plants. You would typically want plants that can tolerate a lot higher light and can grow faster rather than using slow-growing plants. Otherwise, you might get algae growing on them. So when compared to a spotlight, a bar light has a lot better distribution of light all throughout the tank. So the next big question is, how intense of a light should I use relative to the tank I'm using? There are two main ways on how to determine which light goes well with your tank. One way is to use the watts per gallon rule. Unless you have a power meter to measure the exact intensity of light per unit of area, using the wattage per gallon rule is a safe bet to use when estimating what light to use for your aquarium. When it comes to low-tech plants that have a lot slower growth rate and metabolism, we usually opt for between 1 to 2 watts per gallon, whereas a high-tech tank with plants growing a lot faster, we would often opt for 4 to 5 watts. So when it comes to low-tech plants, using anywhere from 1 to 3 watts per gallon is a safe bet. When it comes to high-tech plants that have a lot faster metabolism and growth, you'd want to use anywhere from 2 to 4 watts per gallon. Keep in mind though that unless you tune the lights in increment with CO2 and nutrients, the plants can't make use of that light and algae will settle in. So when using a taller and thinner tank, sometimes using a stronger light may be necessary to take account of the depth. Oftentimes in our hobby, a lot of the LEDs don't have a full array of spectrum that the sun provides. There are, however, RGB LED configurations that allow for a full spectrum, are heavy on the green side, and allow for full complete coloration. This is also helpful in ensuring that the plant grows as optimally as possible. While some lights are heavy on the blue and red side of the spectrum, they actually do help algae grow more than the plants. That's why some individuals do consider a light with the full spectrum a lot more beneficial.